Hi again, this is Professor Innes again, and this is your module on our discussion of crude language and being politically incorrect. Um, we have that consideration here that there's a lot of language used in these cartoons, and for many individuals, they're simply not. The language is not acceptable. It's something which we consider distasteful, something which we wouldn't want to use on a normal, polite environment. But we've got problems with that view because we would argue here, if we wish to put forward, a point of view, do we not have to shock people? We use that Brechtian method. We're still using it now, in the sense if you're going to wake people up, you're not going to do it by being all prissy and polite to people, and they won't even hear what you're saying. So therefore, the words we use are of great importance. The words here may be crude and nasty on the outside, but as the Plato Symposium puts forward, the content is of beauty and is profound. So that's the interpretation we're going to have here with South Park, that there is a message to put forward, and the only way people are going to listen is by being crude about it. Again, it's related to that political incorrectness as well, that in order for you to be listened to have that viewpoint understood, one has to, in some way, say it in a different way than it is normally said. And normally we say things in academic circles in a particularly respectful manner. And again, does it get the message across? We say no, it doesn't. And the South Park producers have that viewpoint. So again, it's back to that liberal perspective. I've got something to say and I wish to say it, and this is the way I think I should say it. So you've got these examples previous to South Park. With Monty Python, the way they would say things was done in a very unorthodox fashion. They didn't necessarily use crude language, but they put forward ideas expressed with different words, leading towards people thinking about things in different ways. And the example you've got with this module is that of religion. Back to religion again. Portraying religion as being rather silly, or rather, religion as being silly. It's not saying that God is silly, it's saying that the religions are silly. And in that way, they put forward these images with the language attached. Heather Campbell, another example of somebody who uses crude images and crude words. We do this in a liberal fashion to get the word across, the idea across. So this is your overall way of thinking about crude language, because again, we might think, if we can express ourselves without crude language, then we'd do it, wouldn't we? I think we probably would. Or it would be the case that the language is not justified. Because we tend to like to think, I'm not just swearing and using these words just for the fun of it. There's something behind those words. The reason I'm using those words is to tell you about something, and you're not going to listen to me unless I use those words. So it's the justification. There is a justification for this language. Okay, so that's your perspective in this particular module. I think that's basically all we need to say. You'll do the reading on that and do the discussion and the thinking, of course. Right, just two other points before we go. Be careful about your homework. Once again, I think I've mentioned it a few times. You've got that homework to hand in, and a lot of you are missing homework from the past, whether it's a journal entry, homework itself from the text, or whatever it is. And eventually I'm going to start to put in the zeros. I'll have to do that. The course is getting towards the end as well. At some point I will have to close the course. Now, if I've got it right, I'll check on the computer. I have to go right back in here again. I'll see exactly when this course finishes. And this course finishes, let's have a look. I'm going to the schedule for the course, Right, here we go. It finishes on August the 18th. So with that, you're going to have some time after the course is finished, and this course finishes officially, make sure I get the right place, on the 9th of August. But I don't have to hand in the grades until, go back again till the 18th of August. So you've got plenty of time, but please keep up with it, because I don't think you'll be able to finish all this work in a mad rush at the end. The quality will be lacking, and the grade also will not be attractive. So keep up with the work, please. Again, like I said last time, a few modules ago, I'm not the bureaucratic type who says once the date's passed you can't do it. Yes, you can, but please keep up with it. I'll have to eventually start grading those previous modules. Right, okay, with that said, briefly before you go, keep in mind the overall perspective of this course. I keep mentioning it in regards to Socrates and Brecht. You are asking disturbing questions. You're asking questions which don't normally get asked, and they're going to make you unpopular. South Park is a cartoon series which asks disturbing questions, and it makes them unpopular. Right, likewise with Socrates. He was basically put to death for asking unpopular questions. So in that sense, that's what we're doing here. So keep that in mind here. We're with Socrates and Brecht. That's our position. That's our methodology in the course. And therefore, we've gone through anything from religion to the understanding of imagination in comparison to rational thought, and so forth and so on. So we've got all these different fields to discuss, and we discussed most of them so far in the course. And we've got that understanding as well that, we're liberals here, or not, if not libertarians. We're thinking about, what type of libertarians are we? Definitely, we are the libertarians who ask that there is a government, but that government basically is there just to allow us to function as free-thinking and free-acting individuals. So that's the message put forward in South Park. And again, if we think here we've got some overbearing government, or mostly in South Park it's criticising arguments, and it's criticising arguments put forward by adults. And I think that the most recent one is the critique of those who don't like Starbucks, for example. Starbucks provides us with that coffee. It's not that expensive, and it's decent coffee, and it's convenient. And I go and buy it. So I don't know if we can criticize them just because they happen to be billion-dollar, multi-billion-dollar corporation as a result of it. So what? It doesn't really matter. It's a corporation that's providing us with good things. So in that sense, South Park goes forward as a libertarian argument, questioning those people who question without thought the existence of these corporations, as an example. So in that sense, we are in South Park to think about these questions, think about these problems as we find. And again, we're not going to solve the problems, but definitely we're going to think about the problems themselves. And that last one I just mentioned here is the problem of people criticizing corporations, which nonetheless do us some good, namely Starbucks or Harbucks in South Park, providing us with this decent coffee, when we all drink it and blah, blah, blah. So there we go. So that's the way of thinking. And again, philosophy is that which does not provide solutions, but it does provide questions. It's critical. Once you start providing solutions, then you've lost the edge. And in that sense, if you wish to put forward an argument, right, you can do that as a critique of other people's positions, but don't put forward a position yourself, because then they can destroy your position. You don't necessarily want to do that. So again, this is going to sharpen your skills for argumentation and basically for thinking about the problems around you, argumentative problems, problems with ideas, problems with assumptions, and it will make you more attuned with these problems, whether it's going to help you with business or your career or whatever. It will help. And with that situation, it make you more aware of those surroundings. It might even make you a happier person. You never know. So in that way here, it benefits you overall to think in such a way. Of course, be prudent. If you've got your best friend by you, probably best not to pinpoint the inaccuracies of their arguments. And tell them that they're not thinking straight. That's something you don't want to do. Prudence is part of philosophy, and that guides you not to be merciless with your friends. It reminds me of an episode of The Big Bang Theory, where Sheldon is constantly ridiculing Penny, but Leonard wants to go out with her, and therefore is prudent in his criticisms of Penny. Of course, Penny is a friend, and Leonard wants to keep that friend, whereas Sheldon is hopeless in keeping friends. So we'll be as well as being critical in our work, in thinking about arguments, we have to be prudent when it comes to friends and people around us. All right, with that, I've gone on a bit longer than I wanted to, but let me know if you need anything, and I'll speak to you online. Okay, thanks a lot. Till later.